22 million black victims of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. Any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it. 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 And are not afraid to say it.
And are not afraid to say it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Black Westchester Presents People Before Politics Radio every Sunday, 6 to 8 on InTheMixRadio.com. I'm your host, AJ Woodson. Black by popular demand. We got Dave McKay Jones in the house. We got the lovely Lorraine Lopez in the house.
Yes.
And we have the Honorable Councilman Andre Wallace in the house.
Hey.
Yes. So, moving right along. It's been a minute. Hope everybody had a happy Turkey Day and all that good stuff. Yo, Damien, what you been up to? No, you've been
I've been working,
posting all them little meme things.
Yeah, man. You know what? Yeah, let me tell you something. Are you squeaking there? What's going on, man? You know, I've decided. You know, I'm looking at all these different programs, man. You know, technology is crazy because you can now, you know, with your phone, you could edit, you could cut, you could splice video. And for this last week, man, I'm just been going meme. What the hell they call it? Memes? Memes. I've been going memes crazy, man. You know.
You making a motion picture?
No, well, you only can do a minute. You know, you can only do a minute each meme. A meme.
You trying to connect them all together?
Yeah, they are. I'm going to do I'm going to start one. I'm going to do like part 1, a part 2, and a part 3. Part 4, part 5. I'm gonna do parts in it because you can only do a minute, you know. But it's a very good marketing tool. I must say it's a very good. You got to start doing some Andre Wallace memes.
I don't want your memes, man.
Yeah, you already got. Hold on, wait a minute, AJ, wait a minute. Hold on. There's already one of Andre Wallace. Let's play. Wait a minute. There's one up there. There's one. There's one. There should be. There should be one with from the press conference, right?
Where at?
Huh? I think it's probably on Andre's page. You got to play it. There's two of them. Wait, but there's man.
A David Tarantino exclusive or something?
No, there's man.
Oh Lord.
Hold on a second.
You gotta find
I
it.
get past all the pictures of Andre and his.
I have to find
his
it.
Family.
I have to find it.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
We had a big Thanksgiving. It seemed like everybody came this Thanksgiving. Thank God it was at my brother's house and not mine, because you know, we were squeezing everybody in there. At least 80 to 100 people.
Wow.
Then I seen that.
We had 3.
Oh wait, I think I
turkeys.
saw it on.
It was,
Then I seen that picture. I was like, watch out now. It was all 5 Wallace brothers.
The 5 Wallace brothers?
Yeah,
6
man.
of us.
6 Wallace brothers. Oh boy. I was like, there goes trouble.
Oh, wait a minute. Here we go, right here. Hold on, I'm going to send you the link, AJ.
All right.
This is a classic Andre Wallace.
Oh man.
Oh,
He already know what it is. He said, "Oh man."
I thought we here to talk about homeless issues.
No, we talking about memes.
We talking about
I guess.
we talking about everything.
We're I just sent you the link. That's a classic Andre Wallace meme. I didn't make that, but I'm just letting you know. It's a classic Andre Wallace meme.
The first one.
Yeah, I just sent it to you in message.
That's not the homeless situation, is it?
No, this one is funny.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's a classic Andre Wallace.
You made
meme.
this one?
No, I didn't make that one. I ain't have nothing to do with this one, man.
What you got in your hand when it shows up? Watch. It's hilarious.
All right, let's see if we can get this going.
It's a classic, man. It's definitely a classic. You definitely got to play this one. It's a classic.
This one here?
Yeah, that one.
I'm glad that the mayor came out today to hear what I have to say. And I'm glad he's showing up, and maybe we might even hear a few words from him, on why is Joseph Spezio still in our police department running it. And I tell you right now, I'm glad he's here because I challenge him. You know, I brought what I have here, my checkbook, because I wanted to make sure, I wanted to find out what the price is to purchase him back for the people of Mount Vernon.
Yo, that's a classic. Yo, you never seen that? That's yo, man, that made me want to make my own, man. I'm like, damn, Andre's fucking dope.
Make your own. I don't even know who made that one.
I want to make my own meme, man. You know that meme was just all over. That was a meme.
Yeah, that was
meme.
that was classic. Yeah.
Oh boy.
That was a meme.
What Corey always say? Here's the soundbite. When he about to say something, he be like, "Here's the soundbite."
Yeah. That was the soundbite. Yeah, Corey be like, "This is the soundbite. Y'all gonna take this soundbite." I know these right here, right? I was looking at them too. But yeah. But one thing, no, I worked Thanksgiving. You know, I worked. So
shout out to Omi Medina. He said he's here. Max Maxwell, much love family. Charles Stearns, hey AJ Damon and team. Uncle Frank's tuned in.
These are nice.
Brenda L. Crumps tuned in.
Well, that's the working man.
Wilson Terrero.
Hold on. Rabab, I never pronounce her last name. She's tuned in. Tanya Connors, and Andrew J. Dabbs. And you said Wilson. I don't see his name, and Wilson.
I see it.
Oh, and my man Reginald McKee from the ATL. What's up, fam? Yes.
Yeah, well, you know.
So Andre, what have you been up to, man? It's been a minute since you've been here, man. You know, I ain't seen you in a minute in person. I mean, every time I turn on News 12, I see you like every day. But I mean, I ain't see you in person.
Man, I just been working hard. I got a lot of projects going on the personal side, outside of government work, but still doing a lot of government work at the same time. So we got a lot of things getting ready to jump off.
That's
working on some new legislation, like always, and looking to move some new things forward. Try to get the city on track. We got our budget that's coming out. So we got budget hearings. We're going into swearing in our new
council
people and controller. And,
right.
It's gonna be some changes, and so I'm just looking to see how's everything gonna go, nice and smooth, and just waiting to see how everything comes together.
Rabab said, "Hi all, the people of Mount Vernon are proud to have an honorable man, Andre Wallace, who stands up against the constant and continuous corruption that has plagued this city."
Who said that?
Rabab.
Bob who?
Rabab.
Rabab.
Yeah.
I thought you meant Bob Basketball.
No,
He's supposed to be in the studio.
Rabab. I met her. She was on the
Rabab. Hey, Rabab. How you doing?
She does a fashion show, man. She did a
nice
fashion show downtown, man. I was
now
shocked.
she one of the people I was talking about.
You were gonna bring it up like that.
She was one of the people I was talking about in the car, David. Like she's like, "Yeah, I got something coming up in March," and I'm like, "Yo, you can't tell me now." Like I can't remember. Yo, shout to Delia. Delia Farquharson, our new councilwoman elect, Delia Farquharson is on the check-in. Lat George is just tuned in. I think that's everybody. Lorraine, what have you been up to?
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
I'm just chilling, hanging. Just, working, doing my little side things.
Okay.
Hanging with my grandson.
Yeah.
Hanging with you.
Yeah. Trusco, he's one of the Uncle Frank's in the house. He said, Trusco.
Hey, what's up, Frank?
There you go.
That's it. So we were off last week. We're back. Shout out to everybody who supported the newspaper. Newspapers being received very well. Robert Baskerville is on the check-in. I guess he won't be in the studio since he's on the check-in.
Oh, shoot.
Tyrone, T-Money, Kelsey is on the check-in. John Jones said he's watching What's Up. Oh, we got everybody checking in today.
Where's our guest?
I don't know.
We had some conversations to go back and forth with.
Someone actually just on my way to feed the homeless. Oh, no, that's somebody else. On my way to feed the homeless in Yonkers. Just wanted to tune in and see what you guys are talking about. Much love. That's Tanya Kindness. Like Georgia said, peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Revolve said, AJ and all of Black Westchester team, kudos for always bringing subjects without prejudice to the people.
Thank you.
Nice.
We appreciate that. We definitely appreciate the love, man.
No doubt.
We try to keep it as honest as possible. Talking about the issues at hand. One thing I want to bring up, before we get into like local topics, I really want to talk about for a minute what's going on out there in Libya.
Yes.
Where they're breaking, which I know the news media have known for a while that they are reinstituting the slave trade, and they're taking a lot of the Africans that live in Libya and they're selling them off as slaves. All
over again. Huh?
Yeah.
All over again.
That's so horrible.
And this is look, and I'm going to be honest. This is the bullshit from Hillary Clinton. You understand? Because Omar Gaddafi loved the Africans, right? I could pull up a picture of Omar Gaddafi with all the African leaders on his shirt. He had a shirt made with the faces of all the African leaders. And Omar Gaddafi supported the African leaders till they started the United States of Africa, which Omar Gaddafi was the chairman, which they were going to take the oil because Libya had the most richest oil deposits in Africa, and he was going to use that and back it and his gold and back it by currency to support the different African countries. And they assassinated him. They killed him for his oil, for his gold, and for he was trying to create an independent Africa, and it wasn't about all this other bullshit that they was talking about that he was doing to his people. So why aren't they over there now, right? Why aren't they over there now when it's clear that Africans are being sold as slaves? See, this is the legacy that Hillary Clinton and Barack.
Lat George said for as low as $40.
Wow,
I didn't know that.
This is the legacy that Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama should have never listened to her ass and went in there and killed
that was Secretary of State Hillary, right?
Yes.
Not only the sale, it's the torture
right
that they are doing to the people, man. Hanging people upside down, hanging them from their neck, hanging them from their feet, cutting their feet off, cutting their hands off, shooting them in the head. It's really out of control.
This is a dumb question, but why can't they escape? Why can't they escape?
How can they when they're taking captives?
I don't know.
If they could escape, we could have escaped 500 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, we can.
Shut up.
They can escape.
Nobody figured it out ever
maybe
since.
we'll drop Harriet Tubman off over there.
Yeah.
Get out.
Shut up.
Right, according to Trump, she's still alive. out here.
Yeah.
Maybe she over there freeing their slaves.
And-
According to Donald Trump.
And who's the other one?
Everybody
Who's
alive.
the other one? Frederick Douglass. He's starting to
he
make
alive.
he's starting to make a name for himself, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to
And
Ben.
get Fred McDonald's over there and write a Freedom Journal.
Shout out to Ben from Yonkers Voice. My cousin Wayne Robinson, Darian Lewis, Staten Island, Osiris Imhotep,
Brother Osiris, what's happening?
Sandy Barnaby. She said she just tuned in. Shout out to my man Monty Whitaker, always tuning in from Baltimore. Peter Senor Guapo.
Davidson.
That's
Yes.
Co-worker. He's the vice president of the Westchester Corrections Association.
Okay. And Macanaz Magali. I'm sure I messed that one up. My cousin in Staten Island was saying Gaddafi was pro-African, pro-black. That is the reason, amongst other economic concerns, that he was assassinated. Thanks, cousin.
Oh, and speaking on the and my man Rich Leibson from the Journal News, I post pictures of the slave of these pictures that have surfaced. I post them on my page, and even Rich Leibson from Lohud, he left a message and said he didn't understand why Obama had to listen to her. Everybody knows that she championed that cause to go in there and take out Gaddafi. She championed that. Even to the point. Now, look, Gaddafi got rid of his nuclear weapons, right? And then they say, oh, he was behind the bombing of one of the planes in France or something like that. There was no real proof that Gaddafi himself was behind any of the bombings. But what did he do? He paid off all the families himself. He paid off all the families. And then he got rid of his nuclear weapons. And President Bush, the second president, was ecstatic and said Gaddafi has came into the fold, right? And he said he took him off the axis of evil, right? And Gaddafi hired a publicist, and he was coming over to America, and he was making his round, and he even rented out Trump's property in Westchester County, and
they wouldn't let him stay. They
and
wouldn't let him stay.
then right, and he went, but. And the reality is, the biggest reality is Gaddafi was always loved by the African resistance movement, the Black Power movement within America. He was, regardless of what they said, Gaddafi was loved. You know, he went to Harlem and he was loved in the churches of Harlem. He one of his books is called the Green Book, and he wrote about the enslaved Africans needing to rise up and take care of his own. He loved the Africans, whether it was Africans in Africa or whether it was Africans, the descendants of African slaves in America, right? He loved that melanin, you know, and he recognized in that, and he wanted to help as much as he can, being one of the world's richest people in the world. So, you know, and now it was a news blackout for all these years after they killed him, but now look what's going on in Libya. So when is Donald Trump going to go back over there?
Never.
No, he's not. But what are they going to do?
Who's the president there now? Who's
There's
there?
no president.
Really?
The void in leadership.
It's void of leadership. ISIS runs Libya.
Shout out to Bishop Edwardson to check in.
ISIS actually runs Libya. So you know, I mean, it's really sad, and there's something else that gives me another excuse under my many excuses to never vote for Hillary Clinton.
You're a hater.
I'll be a hater all I
You're a
want.
sexist.
I'll be a hater for truth.
I don't think she's gonna run again.
I hope not.
you
She won't get my
have to worry
vote.
She won't. No.
She won't get my vote.
Darian Lewis said 100% Hillary as Secretary of State had untold power in the Obama administration.
That's right.
And who else you got? Shout out to Joe Dove, B.J. Wheeler, and Rahi Jones.
Rahi Jones.
Yeah.
What's up, nephew?
Oh, okay. Then you know, did I say the name right? Did I pronounce it right?
Yep.
Okay. And yo, I'm purposely. Charles Stern said, off topic question here. Any thoughts about net neutrality? Anybody got any thoughts on that?
Charles, why you do that to us, man? You messed up our flow.
No. Shout out to Jeff Red, Jeff Red just joined in.
We'll get back to you, Charles, on that.
I think
Charles came in and just messed up the whole flow.
I think it's whack, and I think it was Obama was fighting against it, and it would allow like big companies to pay to be like for lack of a better term, to be in the fast lanes and have faster speed, and the smaller sites won't be able to compete as far as having speed. So
American capitalism to the fullest.
So I think it's whack, and I wouldn't be surprised under Trump if it passes. Especially since Obama was against it. Trump seems to want to undo everything Obama did.
What do you say? He seems he want to. He's doing it.
But Bill Maher's made a comment. Remember they was trying to get all those statues down of Robert E. Lee? He was like, too bad Barack Obama didn't put them up because Trump would have knocked them all down by now.
But but speaking on the statues, and I'm against taking the statues down.
Yeah, because that's whack.
That's whack. Keep them up, right? And put a plaque on it on what they really about. Slave owner, rapist, murderer. That's what you need to do. Christopher Columbus, he got lost.
Right.
Let's keep the statues up, right? And put the truth on the statue. See that's what we need to do. Let's not take the statue down. Look, Robert E. Lee, he was a great general. Yes, he was, right? But he murdered millions of Indians.
You know what?
Murderer, great general, but murder of innocent Indians, Native Americans. Put the plaque on the statue. That's what we need to do from now on. Let's not tear the statues down. Let's put the real history on the statues so our children can see who the fuck these people really were. And the descendants, right, of the slave owners, they can see that. Thomas Jefferson, rapist, right? He was a rapist.
Big time.
He was a slave owner. That's what we need to do. All this tearing down the statues and burning flags and all other bullshit. That's nonsense. Huh?
Just put a simple plaque over.
Just put a simple plaque over it with the truth.
$99 solve everything.
That's it.
Boy, I'll tell you right now.
That's it. As simple as that. And there won't be no white folks marching around that no more.
What do you call a person that's against the country? Not a traitor. It's there's a word for it.
Defector?
No.
A traitor?
No.
What you say?
Oh, that's against the country. That's
what do you mean against the country?
Well,
they
Robert
call them communists.
Robert E. Lee and all of them, they were actually that. Whatever that word is, they were against. They weren't with the United States of America. They started their own country. They tried to. They were actually
rebels.
They weren't rebels. It's not. It's another word.
Defectionists.
It'll come to
Rebel with a cause.
Rebel with a. Charles Stern said AJ was on point with the net neutrality. Yes, thank you. It's whack. And Darian Lewis said to Damon, yes, tell the truth. And Charles Stern said Jefferson's main squeeze was black.
Oh, we know that.
We knew that.
We knew that.
One of the
she had several kids by him.
They had like 12.
And your nephew said, what's up? He said, what's up, replying back to you.
Oh, yeah, what's up? But see, that's what we need to do. Just let's just be honest about history, man.
I just want to show, while there's a fool still posting stupid stuff about us, I can see little alerts. I just wanted to show all the love we are getting. We can deal with the negative stuff. I just want to show. That's why I'm acknowledging everybody who's tuned in, everybody who's leaving comments, to just show the love we are getting.
Well, you can look. You can acknowledge someone who
doesn't exist,
who's a grown ass man, right? And he looks for the government for assistance because the only thing he wants to do is sit on Facebook all day and talk about people, right? You can't acknowledge someone who uses race, right? And thinks that black people are so ignorant that they will believe the nonsense that he posts on his page. I'm not even going to say what page it is, but
we don't need to do
but it's because I'm not even going to promote him. But we have to understand that there are sick people out here, who needs to be someone, and it's no need to acknowledge him because he will continue to be a nobody.
He's a clown.
And he continue to be a clown.
Well, I mean, when you got people that don't produce any kind of a product. They all they do is they make a name, cut and paste what everybody else wrote, or they talk about what everybody else is doing and should be doing, and they're not doing anything themselves. And you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, you know, you get the gas face. That's all I gotta say.
Well, that's why I blocked him, because he put one of my videos on his page and didn't want to talk about me.
He blocked me because he didn't like the pictures I was posting about
Yo,
him.
but you know
he blocked me because I'm black.
Because you're Andre Wallace.
So what more can you say, man?
And while we at it, yo, I'm sorry, yo, a white person cannot tell me how to be black. How to be black, who I'm supposed to support because I'm black, because they black, what I'm supposed to write because I'm black. You know what I'm saying? What the black audience wants to read. How do you know? You have never been black.
Well, not even that. Not even that. For any white person to think that the only reason that a black person will support an electoral candidate is because he's black, right? It just shows that he thinks that black people are ignorant. That we use color the way white people, racist white people use color. See, because that's what happens. Because as long as you're white, you're right. See, and that's what they think in their little sick racist mind.
Caller, please hold.
Because that's what they do. But see, we don't, as intelligent, civilized people that we are, you know, we will judge a person by the quality of their job and who they are, whether to support them or not. It doesn't have to be color. You know, I mean, it has to be substance. You know, I talk my black shit and I love my black people. But I don't just support a motherfucker because he's black. I'm not crazy. Because there's crazy ass black people and crooked black people, just like there's crazy ass crooked white people. You know, so I have to judge the person by who they are. And if I feel this white person will do a job better than a black person, I will support that white person and I will eloquently defend my choice.
Same thing goes for parties too. I'm not voting for you just because you.
But first of all, I'm not getting down with no political party where there's just black people. That shit ain't happening, bro. Because we can't even get along. How the hell are we gonna have a party and push a candidate? No, that's not. You know, no. It's just not happening. We're not mature enough as a people to have a party where there's just black people.
Caller, please hold.
We're not mature enough to do that yet. I mean, it's a long ways to go. You know, for us to even discuss, we're just going to have a political party with black people. No, that's not going to work.
We got.
I'm in several organizations just black, and it's crazy. So you know, and I know. So to have a political party with just black people, no, it's just not going to happen at this day and time. I'm not saying it shouldn't happen, but right now we're not mature enough as a people. You know, we still don't understand the political process. We still don't understand the election process. You know, we still don't understand how finances play a role in the whole political process. We are babies when it comes to this political game. So for people to come out and say we just need a party for black people, you know, I'm not down.
A whole bunch of you know, you click love and like, a whole bunch of love signs just went across the screen as you were saying.
Yeah, I've been watching them.
Yo, we got a caller on the line. Caller, on People Before Politics radio show. Please state your name and your purpose for calling.
Yes, this is Ben from Yonkers Voice.
Hello, Ben from Yonkers Voice.
Hi,
How
Ben.
are you?
Hey, Ben, what's happening? We're not talking about that guy, man.
Yeah, we're not mentioning his name.
No, I'm not mentioning because I want to dignify him, you know, but he's a microscopic piece of bacteria that really don't need to be talked about. But we need to bring some stuff up.
Not about him, though.
I gotta let the people know one thing. That is not just him, but also those guys, those politicians that are using him as a mouthpiece.
Oh, and who might that be?
Yeah, who's that?
Well, guess. London race, sounds rings the bell.
But that's one of them. But that's one of them.
That was old though.
But
the election's over. He lost. He's not still paying.
Listen, but like I told London, and if anybody knows London, right, you could tell him I said it. I will destroy his fucking political career. He needs to just fucking fall back.
He doesn't have one.
No, whatever his future.
He doesn't have one.
Well, whatever his future, and I told him that on Facebook politely. I will fucking destroy. He got the wrong dude. He got the wrong dude. So he needs to go back to where his hole is at, and he needs to just disappear.
Not the king of Nodine Hill.
Well, he needs to go to Nodine Hill and dine on some food or something on Nodine, because he needs to fall back.
He has no I went through Nodine Hill during the election and never saw one campaign sign, one lawn sign. Black Westchester in a couple of stores. We got more presence in Nodine Hill than he did. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be king.
Like Delphin said, he's the coward of Down on Hill, not the king of Down on Hill. But this other guy that I'm not going to mention his name also, who claims to be this Jewish guy, this Jewish faith, but somehow goes to a Christian church, who is the parking attendant of of that particular parking lot. Okay, who is no one, really no one. Somebody needs to expose him for who he is.
You know what?
Because
sometimes I told you this before. Sometimes you just ignore them, and the best success, and the best revenge is success. You just keep doing what you're doing that made you who you are, that made you what the people love and what the people support. And it don't matter what them people say. They just come and go, and you know what I'm saying? And they just going to hate, and they going to do what they going to do. And if nobody hating on you, then you ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody who's doing anything worth any substance, that's speaking up on anything, they going to have haters. You know what I'm saying? So just like, these people just come out the blue. They get their 5 minutes, they get their 15 minutes of fame, and the person you talking about has already used 14 minutes and 55 seconds, so he only got about 5 seconds left. You know what I'm saying? Like, they get their little 15 minutes of fame. They think they doing a little something. They mentioned your name a little bit. And I just say thank you for the promotion because, when you think about me day and night, like, during the holiday, everybody's with their family, posting pictures of their family, and all you doing is talking about me day and night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really can't respect that. So, anyway, that's enough on that person and all them people.
That's right.
And peace to all the haters.
Yeah, and listen, Ben, and thank you for what you do with the Yonkers Voice, man. It's appreciated. You're giving a good service to the community, and I hope everybody that's listening, please get on the Yonkers Voice news groups.
Central.
Yonkers Voice Central.
Yeah, Yonkers Voice Central, because that's real news. Stay off these fake news groups like the Newswire. That's fake news. That's fake news. That's like Russia. If you just get off of them, because it's no need to be on any of them Newswire groups. It's fake Russian news, fake white supremacist news. So get off of those and jump on to jump on, of course, Black Westchester, but also jump on the Yonkers News Central. Ben's doing a hell of a job, man, getting out there, giving us live video, giving us raw video of news all throughout Westchester County, man, and I appreciate it.
No doubt.
No doubt. When you see somebody who goes to sleep thinking about us, wakes up thinking about us, wakes up in the middle of the night posting about us, man, we live inside of his little mind. No sure. I don't even think about the guy. But once in a while,
okay, you're right.
If he don't tag us, I would not know that he did. Like, I only see it because he tagged. It'd be like, tagged you 5 minutes ago, tagged you 15 minutes ago, tagged you a half an hour ago, tagged you 2 hours ago, tagged you 5 hours ago. I was like, damn, like, I'd take a screenshot and show that one day. I was just like, But anyway, shout to the Future Society on the check-in. Brenda L. Crump said congratulations to Delia Ferguson. And that's what's up, I think. T. Zanfordino. There you
go. What's happening?
I missed that comment. They said, DK, I agree, when you was talking earlier. And Pat Tolson said, chat my youth, reality. I don't know. Okay.
And Latanya Baptiste Young said black people learn crooked from white people. Oh yeah, political. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. And some black folks can go to jail too. I hear.
Yep.
Okay.
News at
Okay,
11.
guys. You guys will.
All right.
Thanks for the support, Ben.
All right. Thank
Always.
Thank you for what you do too.
Take care, guys.
All right. Bye-bye. Yeah, check out his Facebook page, Yonkers Voice Central. He goes around if something's going down, and he can get there. He got the camera, and he shoots. It's not edited. It's just
that guy's everywhere.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's.
I don't know how he does it, man.
Yo,
shit, I thought I was everywhere, but he's
there's a fire at the jail. He's already there.
Yeah, he's
you know
everywhere,
what I'm saying?
man.
Somebody got hit by a car the other day. He was right there. He was like, "Did it hit you?" I was like, "No, it did hit me. It missed. It missed." Like, okay, if it does, close me back. Okay, I will be back. I was like, yeah.
SWAT's on the mayor block. He's there, boy. He's
that guy's everywhere, man. No matter where I go.
Yo, shout out to Wayne.
Yo, he does the Batman. You turn around, he's gone.
Yeah.
Where did he go? Where did he go?
You think News 12?
Well, he appeared that way.
Whoa, how the hell you behind me, man?
Wayne Butler said, "I'm watching this video right now." I'm not sure if he's watching us or something else, but thank you. Glenn Butler just joined the conversation. Shout out to Glenn Butler doing this thing. Yeah, man. What were we talking about?
We was talking about Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, we talking about Hillary Clinton.
You know, we was talking.
We gotta talk about Hillary Clinton.
Nah, but he asked what we
over.
yeah, but election's over. But I mean, this whole Libya thing is really bothering me, man. It's really bothering me.
Well, somebody need to do
It should
something.
bother everyone.
Well, the United Nations made a statement today. I have the video on my
Why we
thing.
call Trump? Trump could get anybody out of jail or out of any concentration camp.
Oh God, why'd you? Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. They said
You gonna pat yourself on the back too.
they said that LeVar Ball, right? The amount of press and public appearance that it was worth $13 million.
Yep, and just like
From
3 days.
Just going back and forth with the fool president.
And you know what? And it was so bad that even after Trump stopped talking about him, the press continued to talk about him through the whole holiday. Yeah, and then what made it worse, stupid people that didn't know what was going on started dissing LeVar Burton. LeVar Burton was like, "No, it's not me." They're like, "Stop lying. You ain't had a role in something." It was like people going at him hard.
But that's Trump. That's Trump supporters for you, man. Because they're just horrible,
White
man.
people.
Well, ignorant. There's some black folks too now. Don't get it twisted. There's some black Trumpers out there. But it's really sad. But one of the things I like that LeVar Ball said, he said two things. He really said a few. But I also didn't like how Chris Cuomo was very disrespectful.
Oh, I saw that.
In the interview, and I wanted to just tweet that motherfucker. Say, "You fucking bastard." Because because how he talked to the man like he was being like he actually was being disrespectful to the president, and LeVar Ball was just saying, "Listen, I was there, right? These are my children."
Well, child, yeah.
Oh, my child, and I had boots on the ground. The president was not involved. That should have been it. That should have been end of discussion. And it, but then he kept pushing him, and LeVar Ball said something real great. He said, "Listen, if I'm gonna thank any president, I'm gonna thank President Z. It was his country." And he was absolutely right. And he said, "Well, if he flew him back, if he flew my boys back, if he flew the boys, then I'll thank him." So then he asked him. So then he said, then he said, "Well, if he invites you to the White House, would you thank him then?" He said, "Yeah, I'll thank him for inviting me to the White House." But it was just amazing how he was questioning him. And question is, would you have done it if he was a black man? Would you have been that condescending towards him when he's telling you he was there? I just got back. He said, "I just got back from China. Trump ain't had nothing to do with that shit." If he did make a phone call, it had nothing to do because Trump said they were in jail. He said no, he wasn't in jail. Did y'all know they was in a hotel all the time?
Yeah, they were held in the hotel.
Yeah, but even Chris Cuomo didn't even know that.
Yeah, they never went to jail.
Right, they never even went to jail.
Trump made it sound like they were in jail.
Yeah.
Like
well, that's the way.
Jail.
No, that's the way the press had made it look like too, that they were in jail until LeVar Ball checked Chris Cuomo, and said, "Wait a minute, they was never in jail. So where did y'all get this jail from? You got it from Trump." You understand what I'm saying? You got it from Trump.
He's good with making stories.
Yo,
and the press ran with it.
Yo, real quick, Charles Stern. So Charles, I'm on the other side of the room. There's one side of the room. He's asking me, "Am I in the same studio with y'all?" Because
which one is he watching?
If he watching, if he's watching Facebook. But I'm in the little. I'm not sitting with y'all. I'm in the little square.
In the control booth.
I'm on the other side. I'm on the other side, rocking the controls and everything. Yeah. I'm facing the panel. So
that's the only reason I don't talk bad about him. He might mute my button.
Shout out to Anthony Old School Mitchell. Shout out to my cousin Roland Dixon in Atlanta. Shout out to Stephanie Benton. Tony V. Nix just came in, and Patricia Tolson said, "What other debate brings laughter? LOL, only people before politics."
Damon.
What?
Damon,
what do you mean me?
Shout
militant, man.
Shout to Jamie A. Triplin from DC, checking in. We getting a lot of love around the country.
Where we should. And I'm sitting there and pressing invite. I've been pressing invites in the store since the show started.
We getting a lot of love around the country on Facebook, and to the individual who will remain nameless, who we talking about, he checking out the show.
Oh God, you dumbass clown, you
block
piece of
that
shit.
Piece of shit.
You're
Get
a
out of
fucking
here.
loser.
Get a boo. Get a boo. Boo.
Yeah, boo.
Boo. Boo.
You gotta be nice.
Be nice.
He's making your ratings go up.
He ain't making my ratings go up.
He's a damn turkey.
He's a turkey.
Now you know he's gonna get you later.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be talking. He's gonna be right.
He's hitting right now.
He's gonna be writing till like 8 in the morning. He's gonna be up there like this.
Hyperventilating.
I gotta get those motherfuckers.
Yo,
He's gonna be writing all night.
Like I see how the record 6 in the morning, police at my door. I be like 6 in the morning, suckers on my post. Like what the hell's going on? Like,
I guess. Wait a minute. I guess he can write all night if he don't have a job.
That is his job.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I guess he can.
Ben wants to know if the clown is in the show.
Well, he's not in the show. He's listening.
He's listening. Well, he can write all night.
He said he's going to be tagging us all
night.
Yeah.
He's going to be tagging y'all. I blocked this dumbass.
He hashtag you. Yeah.
He can hashtag me all he want. He's blocked.
Yo, but it's funny though. Like when you stop, other people, you can just watch other people defend you. John Jones. Shout to John Jones, who's been very in our defense.
Jones, what's up?
I guess she's like, damn,
Marie Jones.
A white Jones is coming to Damon's defense?
Well, he was like all Joneses because it was Marie Jones and John Jones he was arguing with. Then he was arguing with.
Are they related?
Yeah, right. And then he was arguing with Ruth Hassel Thompson's daughter for a while. I forget to pronounce her name. Yeah, they was going in. Ocean Morissette, I hope I pronounced that name, is on the check-in. Word up. So yeah. You just gotta love it. So Andre, what's going on in Mount Vernon? Since we got you here, I don't know. We might have had another guest. I don't know if they rescheduled it. I don't know.
Hey, Charles Stern, what's up, man? I just saw that.
The homeless issue, and we need to talk about the fact that we're getting calls from Yonkers.
Right.
At least I'm getting calls from Yonkers, and they're complaining to me about all of the people from Mount Vernon going over to Yonkers Soup Kitchen to eat up all the food.
Yeah, what's up with that, man?
And
what is up with that, Councilman Wallace?
I covered a little bit of that on page 8 of my column in Black
You know what
Westchester
it is, though, is that we have a lot of, not everybody's homeless, though, but some people that are in Mount Vernon that are just making it.
Well,
so
just
they
making
need
it,
that,
they paying their bills, but they ain't got no money left over for food.
Right. But the problem we have, though, is you got to remember, last year they cut the budget on the soup kitchen. This year there's no money cut. Really cut out zero.
Well, yeah, because they cut it from 50 to 20,000 last year, and they cut zero this year.
Right. Well, where are the folks gonna go other than to go to Mount Vernon or try to go to New Rochelle or someplace else where they could go get something to eat. And I don't blame them, and I understand that, you know, what's happening and stuff. So, but you know, Yonkers, chill out. You know, we're on your side. We're gonna do what we can. But
they didn't even know what was going on. They were just like, "Yo, why is there so many Mount Vernon people coming here?" They got a big influx
in that, you know, and you know, we just gotta.
Then they running the Yonkers like refugees. What the hell is going on in Mount Vernon? You know it's a civil war. It's a civil war. The Hatfields and McCoys in City Hall, and the people are running the Yonkers like refugees.
You know what it is, though.
What the hell is going on?
But you know what? On the real though, we have to do something about this, man.
Yes,
this is
absolutely.
It's a serious issue, man. This is a serious issue. You know?
Absolutely.
When people don't have, you know, see, this is what I always tell you. When you don't give people what they need, they don't have the jobs, they don't have the money, they don't have the food and stuff. They're gonna find it, and it just might be at your house when you there or when you not there. But you know, you gotta
Samuel L. Rivers.
So we have to really take care of those folks, and we got to figure out ways to, you know.
Did someone say Sam?
Sam Rivers, Ken Bright, and Antone Anderson just checked in. And Ray D. Copeland just checked in.
Yo, what's up, Sam? What's up, Copeland? Who else? I'm getting old, man. I need some getting Cobra. That's you named like
Max said, but he got money for $80,000 for a truck and no soup kitchen.
Ooh.
Oh, that was
stolen check too.
And that's the problem. That's the problem, you know. But let me tell you something. We got Lattimore in, so we glad that we had somebody there that's going to pay attention, because Astorino was cutting everything left and right from the
city
county.
The city he grew up in.
And the thing that we got to be mindful of is that, you know, they had dumped everybody in Mount Vernon while cutting all the services. So now, where are these people supposed to go? Now, when they're crossing over to Yonkers, you know, they shouldn't be complaining. You know, they know what the problem is as well.
Really, would they shouldn't?
So,
and I mean, and that's what we want. We want to
all work together.
Well, that's something. I mean, that's something that has to be systematically changed, because, you know, here I go. I got to tell the truth. You understand? Because that policy was bipartisan, was Republican and Democrat. You know, on how they pushed poor people, you know, through two cities like Mount Vernon.
Yep.
And so, you know, the Democratic, I think I'm not sure if they're the majority, but I think they are the majority. County legislative branch and the Democratic county exec, they have an opportunity to reverse 20 or 30 years of a practice, which, since 1992. I mean, it was in the African American Advisory Board report to Andrew O'Rourke, to former county exec Andrew O'Rourke. So they knew about the problem. I mean, and like I say again, look at the people that were on the African American Advisory Board in 1992. It was Andrew Stewart Cousins. It was Ruth Hassel Thompson, and those people rose up the ranks and being elected officials. Ernie Davis was the county legislator at the time. He knew of the report, so he knew what the report had said, and he read the report, because we had many conversations about the report. So I mean, you had people that saw the problem, you know, and the same issue, you know, that I have with black elected officials, the same issue Michelle Alexander, you know, in her book, The New Jim Crow, had problem with black elected officials. You're in those positions to fill the gap. You're in those positions to be the person that's going to push back on public policies that adversely affect communities of color in which you live. And when you don't do that, the result is what you see in Mount Vernon. The result is in Mount Vernon. So we have to be every elected official.
Everybody got to come out.
Everybody has to fill that gap. And if you don't, I'm going to call your black ass out. Because you know, you have to do responsible public policy to change the community. I don't care what y'all, you know, and you hear some people say, oh, it's personal responsibility. It's personal responsibility. Yeah, you can have personal responsibility, but responsible public policy go hand in hand with personal responsibility.
You know what? Even for those who say that, everybody's responsibility is our responsibility, and our responsibility needs to be everybody's responsibility.
Absolutely.
Because we're all a community. We're supposed to act as one. You know, a lot of times I read that policy too, and you already know I spoke to you about it. And
right.
And what did I tell you? Pretty soon, you know, people are going to be complaining that I'm going out there and talking about a lot of different things, which I will. And I said, what did I say? I might need some more bodyguards because I've been getting enough death threats. Go put on your bow tie and stand behind me, man.
You better call. You better listen, man.
We got some questions for Andre.
I gave you the number to Hafiz Muhammad.
I know.
You better get FOI on you, brother.
I know. I got wait. Last up to last week, there's 17 new death threats I got so far.
Jesus.
So no way.
Yeah. Yeah, I get death threats all the time.
We got we got
you say it like that. You're like, yeah, I just get them.
But hey, listen, man, it is. You know, I get them all the time.
Well,
Anonymous numbers.
I mean, I can believe that you get threatened.
It's just Spezio.
You get threatened on videos. And,
yeah,
this Spezio is nothing. Yo, Spezio is like Spezio is like Brian Harrod. They have nothing else to fucking do but play with their little cell phone and Facebook and shit. Yeah. They have nothing else to do but do that shit and harass
other people to do it for him.
No. He's like Donald Trump. 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, he just can't help getting on social media under fake names. He just can't help it.
Got a question for High Councilman Andre Wallace.
Yeah.
When is the city council going to inform, enlighten, educate, and empower the community with the knowledge? That's who it is. with the knowledge of the HUD meeting, President, Councilwoman Roberta Puzo. She named all the council persons. She want to know when y'all going to educate people.
I had spoke about that. I'm not going to continue to speak about it. I spoke about it several days in a row. From the day that we met, when all of us were supposed to go downtown, I didn't get a chance to go downtown because I had prior commitments to work. And, I explained it to, Marcus Griffin was supposed to be writing this up, and
oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, excuse me, sir.
Sam had a question about Marcus too.
Well, they were supposed to write this up. See, I have a different way of operating, and I do, and a lot of people get on me for it because they say I speak out a lot and I talk about it. But when things are done wrong, you have to address it all the time. You have to correct it, and if you don't, people are still thinking that HUD cut the money for the soup kitchen and all of that. HUD didn't cut the money for the soup kitchen. They clearly said they never cut anything. They never cut any funding. The $6 million I
challenged the mayor's office in City Hall to
produce
a letter that they're supposed to see.
You're not gonna get that because HUD never gave a letter. They explained all of that stuff. We were trying to get a letter to see if we tried to see if we can get a letter that states that HUD never did it, but they wouldn't put it in writing. But the $6 million that the mayor said it was missing, there was never no $6 million missing. HUD doesn't know anything about $6 million missing. So all of these different things, you have to come out and say it. I left it in the hands of Marcus Griffin and Roberta because they went down there and spoke to it. They were supposed to do the letter. I don't know what happened. But, if I was down there, how I do it. The mayor has a press conference at 2, mine is at 2:30.
Right. We got another question.
That's the way it goes, and you explain what happened so the people are informed.
We got another question for you from Oscar Davis Jr. What's the status of the YMCA opening?
Well, oh, man, here we go with this one, Thank you, Oscar, for throwing that out there. But let me tell you something. The YMCA cannot open. Okay?
Why?
Because the report shows that it has asbestos and black mold in there. I had this conversation with several people already. And
didn't I tell you, Oscar?
I'm not going to get into it right now because I will not open up a liability for the city. So I refuse to talk about it in the public, and I'm going to keep it that way. So sorry,
bottom line
Oscar,
is not opening.
It's not opening, and if it does, I have a problem with it opening, and that's something to be talked offline, and that can open up potential liabilities for the city. My job is to protect the taxpayers, the city, from getting sued, and I will not allow that to happen.
I don't know how that is.
And I'm going to leave it at that.
When your name is on every lawsuit I see, got your name in it, like suing Andre Wallace.
Hold on. No.
There's gotta be one, right?
Listen, first of all, I won all my lawsuits, so that's one. Two, I'm not in that new lawsuit for Memorial Field. Although my face is there with Ernie as the number 2 guy in the crime family.
You know what, though?
But he didn't sue
Oh,
me
wait,
in that lawsuit.
But you know who's missing in that
Who?
administration, though?
Who?
And that
Councilman Richard Thomas. He needs to be suing himself.
That's right. Because
See,
he was in the place.
wait,
I wasn't there.
Didn't Richard Thomas forget that he voted on the changing of the plans and everything that went down under Ernie Davis? He voted and defended it.
Not only that, and when we had Ernie on the show, and he called, and I asked him that same question, and he said yes, he voted, but he didn't.
He didn't read it.
No, he didn't see the whole. He didn't have all the information. He didn't have all the information.
No.
And
Hold on.
Ernie told him.
So he smoked, but he didn't inhale.
Right. I'm going to give you the information later. Just vote on it, and he did. He said trusting Ernie. That's what he actually said on this.
Right. So he didn't.
Why did you vote on it?
Right, and he did admit it. And we could go back to the show when Ernie was on here, because I got in his ass and how the hell would you vote on something and not understand it and not read it? And he says, well, it's Mount Vernon.
Oh,
what kind of
shit?
What kind of shit is that? It's Mount Vernon. So is that Councilman Wallace? Is that the order of the day, that the mayor or anybody just throws piece of paperwork, the city council doesn't read it, and they just vote for it? Is that what he expected y'all to do since he got sworn in, to do the dumb shit that he did as councilman and vote on shit? Is that how this works?
You know that I put it this way. My first life is an investigator. When I died, I was really an investigator in my last life. I came back and I still got a lot of that left over.
When Andre first got in the office, he would be calling me, and he was like, yo, AJ, yo, where you at? I said, outside my porch. Okay, I'm picking you up. Yo, let's go around and count how many street lights are actually out, and we're gonna mark what corners those street lights are. Like, yo, and he was doing stuff like that. Like, I don't even know when the transition. I don't know if part of this he didn't swear in yet. You know what I'm saying? You know what? He was on top of all of that. Like, then he picked me up and be like, yo, let's look at the first snowstorm. Let's look through and see how the south side is composed to the north side has been.
Because I want to make sure it's equally taken care of, and you know what I'm saying. Just because you I live on the north side. The north side should not be any better
but the north side
or any more respected than
great.
the south side.
All parts of the north side wasn't that great.
Right. Well, that's why I was satisfied with that one. You know what I mean? Because I said, look, we got it bad over here too. They got it bad over there. But you know what I'm saying? I look at everything across the board because I represent the whole Mount Vernon. So there's not one side going to get more than the other. One person going to get more than the other. It doesn't work like that. Everybody get the same. Now, one thing I was saying,
since
we were on that topic, since we was on that Memorial Field topic, I was sitting here a while ago, and I think Ernie was sitting in your seat right there, when the mayor said that Councilman Wallace don't know what he's talking about, and that the field is really contaminated. Remember that? Mm-hmm. And he told me it had slag and all that other stuff, and I told him he didn't know.
Is that why he had 4 events this summer?
Yeah.
I can't
remember. So you remember that, right? Because we're back on People Before Politics, and we're talking about it again. And I keep saying, and it goes to my next point, what Damon said, how people don't read, because I did write that 74-page report on Memorial Field with testing with the engineers and everything else, engineering report, that showed that there was no toxicity, right?
Well, I mean, there was a certain level, and then we also
the
level it is
causes nausea,
and only you can walk on it, you can breathe it, but you can't plant vegetables in that ground and eat it.
Exactly.
Then you're going to get sick. Like you would get sick, but you can walk on it, play sports on it. You could, like it just at that level, you know. But at that level, you couldn't plant food in it or something.
And it was temporary. And in the report, I tracked it back to the diesel fluid that was leaking from the actual DPW machine. So that was it. And slag, people got to understand, slag could come from the burning of barbecue. It's just the runoff of when you barbecue between the charcoal and the stuff that falls off your steak and meat and all of that kind of stuff to create slag. But if you notice, people have been barbecuing Memorial Field since the beginning of time. So of course you're gonna find slag. And I would tell you, and I told everybody else, you have to look at where the DEC took those testings, and you have to look at all those stuff. And when I did,
so let's clean up the black mold.
It was different. You know,
that's Oscar's having a field day.
I'm not messing with Oscar right now.
Judge Adrian Armstrong, Ken Bright, Andre Leroy Davis.
Oh, my man.
Yeah, Tasha, Lauren Green.
That's my Cater sister.
Oh, Lauren Green. Right. And Rob Ruggiero. I'm not sure about Ruggieri. I hope. Shout out to Rob. You know, and shout out to Simone Combe. That's Patty's sister. Shout out to Simone. Everybody's checking in. Now I want to ask. I was gonna stay away from these comments because I know sometimes they're there just to stir things up. Okay, so I've been seeing a lot. We getting comments about there's summonses that went out recently. Like people said that the mayor actually sent out subpoenas to everybody about Memorial Field, and then they were arguing on Facebook that those weren't subpoenas, and then there was word that the mayor got summoned to the Attorney General's office.
Okay, that was a real one, so you can see real news versus fake news. I don't know. I don't know. The mayor subpoenaed everybody. I didn't get a subpoena.
But the mayor doesn't have subpoena power, does he?
Yeah, he has subpoena power.
Does?
But he ain't got subpoena power for people that don't work in the city under him.
Kathy Brewington.
So it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So those subpoenas, he subpoenaed Mayor Davis, Mayor Davis. He subpoenaed Beauvais. He subpoenaed all kind of people.
Poor Beauvais. He just got out of jail like a couple of months.
I know, and they're trying to drag that man back.
Welcome back to I don't know where you're at, but welcome back, Beauvais.
Yeah. He didn't even get his feet on the ground yet. You know,
Charlie
they're
Khalil,
trying to drag him in already.
Shout out to Charlie Khalil and Kathy Brewington and Brooke Jones and Priscilla Ichi is tuned in. Charles Stern said this show is a trip.
Hey, Charles, let us know what Sunday you're gonna come on the show, man.
We want to put together over the next month. We want to put together the show on the charter schools and have a couple of people speaking pro and for and against it and explaining what charter schools is. So we definitely want to do that, and we're looking at the second or third week, which is the I don't remember the date, but the second and third Sunday right now are the two Sundays we're thinking about. So let us know what your availability is for those. Because we definitely want to have the charter show conversation.
You know, Carmen Goldberg works for the charter school in Yonkers.
That's right. Maybe we can have her chime in on the conversation.
Well, I guess she's for charter schools.
Well, you could. Well, but it'll give you another opinion.
Yeah.
But I want some people that are not. I want one person who is educated and against it, not just saying, "Oh man, I don't like charter schools." Because I want you to tell me why you don't like charter schools. Like what, because some people say they take the money from the public schools and all that other stuff. So you may be having somebody from the school district chime in. Charles said, "Cool, got it. He's checking." Brenda said, "Councilman Andre Wallace, has the council received a copy of the latest DEC report regarding Memorial Field from Mayor Richard Thomas?"
No, we have not. We don't receive pretty much anything from the mayor's office. He says that we're getting sued by the federal government, this government, that government.
Wait. But I read, I see a lot of press conferences.
British government.
I see a lot.
I think we get sued by Dubai. I haven't seen nothing yet.
I see a lot of the press conferences, and I read a lot of the email blasts, and I'm always hearing how he's always reaching out to y'all to meet with y'all, to work on certain things with y'all. He tries to send y'all the stuff, and then y'all don't send it back. That's what I'm reading. Like,
let me just.
That's what I'm hearing.
I don't know where he's sending it to, or maybe he's sending it. I don't know where he's sending it to, but I've never seen or got any calls, because when or if he would call me, I would show up. Basically, even on last Tuesday it was, we had a Board of Estimates meeting. He refused to come out, to come into the Board of Estimates meeting. I went into his office and tried to get him to come out.
Was it a scheduled meeting?
It was a scheduled meeting. Because it wasn't a regular scheduled meeting. It was a special meeting that was scheduled by him. I was sitting there when he did it.
What day was this?
Tuesday.
Oh, he
by
scheduled
him.
But he scheduled
yes, because he said Tuesday that he was going to come out and pass the budget. I was sitting there. I'm not going to defend anybody, with something that's not the truth. The truth is, I was sitting there, and he said this, and he scheduled it and all. So yes, I went into his office.
Well, what was he doing in his office? Had his little toy train set on the desk, right?
No, Well, you know what?
Have a toy train?
He didn't come out. He didn't come out.
No,
but
you joke. Because I can say I never heard that one. I was like, does he actually have a toy train set? Okay.
No, I didn't see no toy train set. I seen the set of drums, but I didn't see no toy
drums.
But
a drum set.
The furniture that he's got in his office, other than the desk, he picked up from the garbage. He pointed out every single piece of furniture, and he said, "I got this one from the corner."
He ain't get that shit from the corner.
This one was in the garbage.
Whatever.
Yeah. He gave me a whole tour of the garbage.
Well, I don't know anything about that.
Whatever.
But back to the mayor, I did have a meeting with him. I went and met with him for about 20 minutes and stuff to talk about the budget and the concerns and all. So I do try to communicate with him, but I haven't got a call, and hopefully we'll sit down and I'm going to listen to his concerns about the budget.
I haven't been following. Where are we with concerns of the budget? I mean, I know he put out his which is his wish list almost. His proposed budget. I know, like last year, then there was why those things couldn't go through, and there was a revised budget part, and then he tried to make it look like that was their budget and this was his budget, and it went back and forth. Where are we this year with the budget?
Well, the whole idea was for him to present his budget. The last time when Maureen was pushing to have his budget presented at the Board of Estimates, he said he had to go back and review the budget and all of that stuff. But we were saying the same thing. That's your budget. What do you got to review in the budget? This is yours. And since then he didn't come out. They moved forward to actually vote his budget down and then put out the new budget, which came in at 0.66%, something like that, 0.06%.
So, you know what? I
just a little bit over 0.5% this year.
I honestly can't say I read much more than the raise that he wanted.
Yeah, well,
I was just I was a little distracted.
The budget was
not
high.
Just really, I think his whole staff or something.
Yeah,
there was a raise for his whole staff or something.
Almost $350,000 in raises.
I honestly didn't.
A raise for what? He ain't do shit in 2 years.
I honestly didn't.
Well, let me say this, because my big thing on raises, and I'm coming from the corporate world, which I'm in right now, but raises, like I said, should be performance based, and nobody performed. So the bottom line is, until you can show us some kind of performance that produces some kind of income for the city that could offset things to justify raises, I am not going with raises.
Wait.
I told them to take out the council raises too. We do not deserve raises until we can find out how to get the money. And we're not going to get the money by raising people's taxes to benefit and get a raise from that.
Now you're saying that
you
saying the mayor didn't perform, that the dance up and down the steps, that don't count, the performance? No, that's a performance, right?
No, that don't count.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But on the real, no, it has to be done that way. I keep on saying, anything we want to buy, okay, you want to purchase, you want to get in there, you want to create all of this stuff, you want to spend all this money, you got to show me how you expect to make that money. It's just like when I went out and I pushed to get, Mount Vernon his first tow truck, because we don't have a tow truck in the police department. I broke that down to show how it's going to pay for itself and then make money. So it'll pay for itself and then make the city money. So it pays for itself.
When I got the tree cutting truck for the city of Mount Vernon, I showed how it pays for itself. When I ordered the sewer trucks, and yes, that was my idea to put the sewer trucks together so that we could camera our own sewers, because it was $2.5 million he was looking for to camera it. We bought the truck and the cleanup truck for about $530,000, and we used that. But it shows how it pays for itself. Everything has to pay for itself. If you can't show me how it's going to pay for itself without taking the money, from the taxpayers, then we can't have it. We just have to wait until we can figure out how to generate income to pay for it. So that's the way you run something. Like in my business, if I have a bad year and my employees jacked up stuff and all kind of stuff, and we're on a shortfall, I ain't giving you a raise. But you know what? At the end of the year, if we did well, and the company has a surplus of certain thing, then everybody gets a bonus, and everybody gets a raise. Everybody gets that. That's how it works. You don't lose in business and give everybody a raise at the same time. It just don't make sense to me unless you're the backwoods businessman.
But you know what?
It doesn't work that way.
Look, Andre, I'm just gonna, that's in theory what you're saying is great, but in the world of politics, it's not about the people; it's about their pensions. And that and yeah, I understand you're coming from the private sector, and no, they don't deserve raises. I don't think the city council, nobody should get a raise after the last 2 years of bullshit that I've seen, But we also understand that this is the game, this is the game that politicians play with the people's money. Because it's not about the people, ain't about serving the people. It's about a pension. How do I fucking milk this shit of the taxpayers' dollars and get a goddamn pension? And then they want to demonize the actual hardworking people, the DPW, the police, the firemen, the people that actually are out there in the street, in the rain, in the snow, actually doing the actual service.
Those are the ones who should get the raise.
Thank
if
you.
You're going to raise anybody,
thank you.
Raise those guys who are getting $10 an hour.
Right.
That's been a seasonal worker.
Right. Make them permanent so they can get some benefits.
And that's where you put the money. Those are the people on the streets. You don't start raise. No, please.
So, I challenge all the elected officials. I challenge all the elected officials, all of them, right? That's trying to get money out of that budget to forfeit the money this year and give it to those seasonal workers and make them permanent so they could get some health benefits and take care of their families, man. Because this is ridiculous. You got people over there in DPW that's been seasonal for years, 5, 6, 7 years. Yeah. You really gotta be kidding me.
And then they got their hours cut. A while ago they got their hours cut in half.
So let's see.
A couple of them.
So let's see them.
What are you doing at the store?
I'll tell you this much. If others are ready to forfeit, I'm ready right now. I'm giving my commitment on the radio. I won't even take the check. Give it to the DPW guys then. Give it to them. If we all forfeit, give them the raise, because they're doing a lot of work out there. They're the ones that's making sure that our streets are clean. They're the ones picking up the garbage. They're the ones filling potholes. They're the ones around the clock. They should be getting more money than $10 an hour. But what we got to do is, and I got a plan, and I'm working on it right now. And when I finish with the plan and all of that stuff, hopefully we can do what we got to do to generate enough funds to make sure that these guys could do seasonal workers could get more money.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Because I know I seen a street sweeper come by my house and said, Mount Vernon, thanks Mayor Thomas for cleaning Mount Vernon. And it didn't say DPW. You saw
And by the way, those sweepers, I ordered those sweepers. And let me tell you something.
And they was with a deal with another city, right? 5.
Yeah.
I know about that.
Let me tell you what the purpose of getting those new sweepers were. Because I have legislation I'm still trying to push through, which I wanted to move the signs from, how we have sweepers from 8 to 12.
Right.
It's too much time. Okay? I told them it's going to be 9 to 12. Because people get up in the morning at 7 o'clock, they run around jockeying for a car space, run back in their house half dressed, get dressed to leave at 8:45.
But now when they got to come home at night, like on my block, when they got to come home at night and they got to park 2 and 3 blocks away, and then women, single women, got to walk home. Women got to walk home in the night. You know what I'm saying?
That's not the issue. That's a whole nother.
No,
issue.
but I'm saying that's because they trying to get on that side of the street so they don't have to get up in the morning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the problem. And the thing about it is, the fight that I was having was because they said, listen, the folks said that they write most of their tickets between that time. Of course they do, because you ain't giving people enough time to move their car. And that's not the purpose of people moving their car, not to write tickets. The purpose of that is to make sure that the streets is clean. So give them more time, let them move the car, right? Then the street will be clean. Let me just finish.
I know my area is waiting for you to do it.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me say this. When we had this discussion, they kept saying we ain't got enough sweepers to keep breaking down. So I ordered the sweepers with Curtis Woods. Ordered the sweepers. We got the sweepers and all that. Now you got brand new sweepers.
Well, like Hempstead or something.
Okay, those are the ones he put his name. Richie put his name on. But anyway, I don't care about that. We got the sweepers. Okay, now let's change the time to give the people relief. You should not be taxing the people that is already overtaxed in our community that park their car on the street. Okay, you should not be. That's not the way to make revenue. There's so many other ways to make revenue.
I also want to see
but we should not be making it out of that.
I also want to see, and this predates Richard Thomas, because I've had these conversations with Mayor Davis. If it's snow and the plows have not cleaned the side of the street, and you should not be getting tickets for alternate side of the street parking when the snow plows can't come on the street and plow because there's snow on the street, but they still giving tickets though.
All those tickets should be thrown out. Let me tell you something. If it was up to me and I was in charge of those tickets, nobody would be in tickets. Because how you gonna charge people and give them a ticket when there's no place to park and you didn't do the job of cleaning the stuff so that they can park?
Not to throw them under the bus.
On the taxpayer.
I have this on tape. So Mayor Davis said, so it's a way of training people so they'll know.
All right, stop. Stop. Just listen. Don't even. Please do not entertain. Do not entertain that dumb shit because we can't. We can't entertain that dumb shit. It's common sense. I mean, we all got fucking common sense. It's one thing. We can have faith in God. We could do all that, but even God gave a motherfucker common sense.
Well, yeah,
right? And to say that we're training people, we're not that damn animals. See, the problem is politicians look at people, especially in Mount Vernon, this culture. Look, I'd rather be under white supremacy than the culture, political culture that's in Mount Vernon. It's more oppressive than being under the racist white man. Because what they do.
I don't know about that.
Yes, it is. Because look,
I don't take kindly to whips, man.
Look. I'm not even talking about whips. I'm really talking about systematic. I'm really talking about systematically. Because it's the haves and the have-nots, right? And that's why they fight so hard. That's why they do what they do, because it's just the 1% of Mount Vernon, right, controlling the rest of the rest of the
because it's not about reality. It's all about a salary,
right? And right. It's all about a salary, right? And it's all about. But sooner or later, it's going to implode, right? But guess what? The ones that created this problem, they're going to be good. When the thing implodes
and retire,
they're going to be good. They're going to be retired. They're going to be gone. Because some people just get into this shit just to get a goddamn pension. Some people want to get elected just so they could clear their little 3 years out so they could get their pension. You understand? It ain't even about it has nothing to do with the people. It's all about the pension. It's all about your pension, and it's all about what you're trying to do. And the people get shafted. Look, nobody should get fucking paid. The way the city look, you can't get anything in the goddamn city. Ain't no movie theaters, ain't nothing. So how are you moving forward in the last 30 goddamn years, right? How are all these people in all these positions? And I'm just not talking about city hall. I'm talking about county level. I'm talking about state level. You got to be goddamn kidding me that the city is looking like the way it looks. And then they got the nerve to get mad at me and say, oh, he ain't from Mount Vernon. Well, neither is fucking fat ass Spezio, but he run the goddamn city.
The garbage man?
Yes.
Running our city?
Garbage man. The garbage man.
Oh, man.
Yes. And he's not from here. And ain't no and I haven't seen the same people that say that shit about me not being in Mount Vernon. Not one of them said anything about him. So this is
the garbage man.
Yes, the garbage man.
Running the city.
Running the city. Garbage.
Where they do that at?
Garbage in, garbage out. Wax on, wax off. And that's the way it is. But you know, I mean, look, and that's the reality.
Yo,
you know, sooner or later it has to change. It has to change, or the city's gonna go bankrupt. And if the city go bankrupt, and I told my wife, the city go bankrupt, you don't get your pension.
Let me tell y'all something. Okay,
and the police still got to work.
I'm gonna let you know right now. We are 1 or 2 mistakes away from going bankrupt.
What do you mean? You got a couple of mistakes coming because I'm getting ready to sue the city.
I'm not saying nothing, but if we don't start paying attention and focusing on this, I'm telling you, okay, we are 1 to 2 steps away from being bankrupt with what's going on with the city.
Look,
so
you already got you got Larry Fair suing the city for $100 million. Listen, you 1 or 2, you just a trip away with that lawsuit. Boop.
Yeah, that's different.
Bankrupt.
I'm telling you right now.
Listen, and I tell people, I told my wife, and I tell everybody, y'all look at this shit and you think it's funny. You really do think it's funny. The city can go bankrupt, especially with all the lawsuits. Especially all the lawsuits down the pipe, and not to mention that the years of just mismanagement of the funds. And there's nothing coming in. There's nothing coming in. Look at the other cities, Port Chester, Yonkers, even Peekskill. You know, they're growing and they're building their tax base and they're taking it off of the taxpayers.
Brenda posted the video of the cops and the mayor dancing down the steps after I said that. And Clyde D. Hodge Jr. said, DK, always keeping it real. It is always about who has the money and who has control of the money.
There you go. 100.
And he had the little symbol with the bag of money.
But I mean, listen, and you're a city councilman, sitting city councilman, and now a senior city councilman. And you're telling me,
nah, I'm still a sophomore.
Well,
next year I'll be a senior in about another month.
Yeah.
But still, in all, I'm saying it's a scary situation. We just gotta be very, very careful. I don't talk about it, but we gotta be very, very careful.
Everybody on all levels. Brooke just said, "What's up, everybody? Good evening, everybody." Brooke said good evening, and Brenda was confirming she was backing you up that there was supposed to be a special BOE meet in Tuesday.
I don't make stuff up, man.
To vote on the proposed 218 budget.
So wait, so he didn't come out his office?
No,
at all.
No.
Okay.
Listen,
right.
man.
Move on. Let's move.
Let me tell you something.
Let's talk about the CCR.
Because of people like Brenda Crump out there, you can't say nothing that's not factual. I got to have documentation to back up everything I say. Because Brenda be saying, "Where the paper?" And I always turn around and be like, "Right here."
Listen,
you gotta have it factual.
Ronald Reagan always said, "You trust but verify."
That's right.
You know, and that's what a lot of people don't do. You know, they trust the word, but they don't verify. Andre tell you, Andre say, "Yo, send me the paperwork." That's the first thing I tell Andre. Send me the paperwork.
Yeah, you see, you see what I do.
That's right.
I always be like, "Listen, I trust all of y'all. I love y'all to death, but can I get the paperwork?"
That's it. It has to be
I need to look at this for myself.
Yeah,
not that I don't trust you, but I just like to read.
So you know that somebody's not giving you some stuff about surplus in the budget and showing the 2014 budget.
And the next show I'm really going to break down because talking about trust and verify. Next week's show, God willing, we're going to get into this constitutional convention and how the unions and these liberals were bamboozled. Was really bamboozled voting against the Constitutional Convention, and what was the ramifications, why, and all that shit that they were talking about, that people's pensions were in jeopardy, was one of the biggest lies that I've ever found out in my life. And these union presidents got really bamboozled. and really because of the people, and the loss is the people. The people lost big time not having a constitutional convention, because I've asked a couple of union.
I'm gonna be here for that one.
Yeah, I asked a couple of union presidents for the paperwork to show that, and they never produced it. But thanks to Kathy Stewart, and I'm going to try to see if she could call in next week. She sent me a lot of paperwork to show that the pensions were not in jeopardy. They will never be in jeopardy. The pensions, your pensions is actually protected by the United States Constitution. So, and she broke down the legal terms and everything that makes it protect. But the big losers are the people, because we couldn't change. We could change campaign finance. We could make real better campaign finance reforms.
You could still do all of that. You can still do all that.
How?
Basically,
they're not. They're not. But they're not going to pass it.
I was on the other end.
But they're not going to pass it.
No, but the bottom line with that whole thing is you're opening up something that they're saying that might work. Okay, and you're giving power to people to be in back rooms with lobbyists making a whole bunch of deals and then putting the Christmas ordinance on the tree when it goes through. You don't know what they're doing.
Look,
it's better to do it at a local level and move
you're
it
not,
one by one.
How are you going to move it at a local level? It has to be state level.
Up the ladder.
Can we pass? We will never pass by. We will never pass bipartisan primaries. That will never happen, because the Republicans and the Democrats don't want it to happen. There's things that the Republican Democrats won't allow to happen because they want New York State to remain a two-party system forever. And the only way you're going to change that is through the state constitution. Is changing the state constitution, because you'll never look. Assemblyman Abernathy, right? He had this bill that's been sitting forever, right?
So
saying that party chairs can't double as commissioners of the Board of Elections. Ain't nobody voting on that shit. He can't even get it through. Right, but you could change it.
I found out about that like 3 years ago.
Right, you could change it through the New York State Constitutional Convention. You could put those laws in the state constitution. We got suckered. We got suckered. The unions got suckered, and they got suckered by both parties. I always say, when you see Republicans and Democrats agree on something, you got to question that shit. You got to question it. When you ever see Republicans and Democrats agree on the same thing, you got to look at that shit real deep and wonder why. And wonder why.
So they trying to benefit themselves.
That's right, and we'll get into it next week.
Charles Stern said, Damon, thanks for taking an unpopular stand on Con. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Charles, you come on the show too with that one.
Yeah, bring Charles on there.
Word up, yo.
Oh, dude, you got 2 legislations you got to talk about, man.
Which one? I got like 10. Which one? 2? The new ones.
Yeah.
The other ones that I still learning. Oh, which one? We're gonna get the
immigration and
the CCRB.
Yes, all
right,
man. Talk about that.
All right,
man. That's
CCRB.
Great. And talk about why.
It looked like we're ready. CCRB is Civilian Complaint Review Board.
That's right.
Okay.
Let's give Mount Vernon a hand. Be the first city to yes.
Well, we're gonna actually. It looked like we're gonna put that on the agenda for the next city council meeting. So
right.
we have
which is when.
Which is not this Tuesday, not this Wednesday, the following Wednesday. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but whatever that date falls on, 2 Wednesdays from now. Not this one coming up, but the following one. But we're going to get that on the agenda and push that through. We did a lot of the minor changes on it.
Wednesday the 13th.
Yeah, to give the CCRB some board, some subpoena power.
So it will have subpoena power.
Yeah, because that was the last thing left out, and because a lot of people, end up.
Okay, can I stop? All right, so subpoena power, right? The council got subpoena.
I know, right? Right. Why are you stopping him? He's trying to explain what's going on.
I didn't even get the stuff out. You jumping to subpoena power, man.
Yeah, because the
people don't even know what you subpoena power talking about.
The council got subpoena power too.
Well, we ain't talking about the council subpoena power.
All right, well,
because that's the city charter, and that ain't never going to change. Let's stick to the
CCRB. Get the bill out first, then you can know what it is.
Let's stick to the CCRB. I don't want to go back to the subpoena power and all that bullshit of the council.
But the CCRB
we know that shit is
bullshit. To give community people, the opportunity to have some kind of power, Okay, because a lot of times we have a lot of police brutality, police stopping, doing all kind of things to people and all with no repercussions. So what we have to do is put a civilian complaint review board so that people can have another place to go to get some kind of justice. You know, and this review board will be an independent review board done by citizens, ordinary citizens that make up this board that will review these cases and see and be able to recommend some kind of disciplinary action to that police officer for his, I would say, not so good conduct.
Oh well, and they could clear, and they could also clear him of the.
And they could clear it too, because a lot of times, you know, there's a lot of police officers that are accused of doing things that maybe, you know, need to be cleared of those specific things. But this works better too, because what I'm looking at also with this CCRB is that we could also use this to move, okay, a lot of the cases from becoming, you know, like notice of claims and stuff, because a lot of people will sue the city on certain things. So if you go through a CCRB, we could actually eliminate a lot of that stuff, which will also help save money from it going through our lawyers and all of that stuff, having to work on these particular cases that shouldn't even be going anywhere. So this is a good tool too, and it's empowering the citizens to have a place to go. Because sometimes we do have complaint review boards, but you got to go to the police station to complain about the police. People are afraid of that. You know, we have it in the clerk's office, but with the new CCRB, you'll be able to make your complaint online, at the library, at the boys club, you know, down the block at Lolo's corner store. You're gonna be able to pick up an application anywhere you want to pick up an application to put it in. And not have to worry about repercussions from any police officer or anybody, you know, coming thereafter to harass you. So that is a plus. And the other piece of legislation is the Immigration Act. Okay, well, we're putting that in place so this way, well, I'm actually introducing it to make sure that we can try to get that passed, because right now we got all these people, you know, still hiding in the cracks, and we just don't want to use our resource and our police to, you know, help ICE catch and
another year,
they're
about to round up all them Haitians.
Well, they already, that's what triggered another thing too, because they said I have to hurry up and get this thing through, because the stuff that they're doing with the Haitians is very, very uncalled for. I'm like, you know, what is wrong with people? When did we ever have decency? When did we lose it?
When
you know,
Trump got in.
It's like everything that everything.
Well, I'm not a Trump Republican. Don't go there, Damon.
Well, we got rid of the illusion of decency when Trump got in, because I don't know, we didn't have it before him.
When did all of this stuff become okay? You know what I'm saying? We have to really look at all of that and how we are actually treating one another. Because just remember, almost everybody here in America, if you're not a Native American, is an immigrant. Some of us came over here, didn't even want to come here. We were dragged here, you know? And the others that did come here, it was okay. So I don't know why you're talking about we're going to close the door. Because look at Trump's wife's an immigrant. Throw her out there.
But she's a rich immigrant.
Yeah, well, that's what it comes down to. It comes down to money, dollar signs, you know, the haves and the haves not.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
that's what it's really.
Are the Irish rich?
That might be his way to get to go by, you know, instead of divorce, just deport her ass, you know, get rid of her.
Well, yeah, well, I was wondering that they gonna throw me out twice as fast. Remember, I'm still a Cuban Jamaican. You know what I mean? So I'm a mixture of both. But the bottom line is, you got all of these other people that come over here that it's okay. You know, we could bring a lot of people from a lot of different countries over here. It's okay. But when you start to look at the Haitians, you start to look at other folks and everything. Why is it not okay? They just had that was a major disaster over there. Now you want to round them up and throw them out? Right. It doesn't make sense. They deserve to have access to this land like everybody else.
And they're not the number one immigrants are those people, like them Europeans that come over here on them them school visas and stay when they expire. There's there's a lot more of them here.
And you know,
because they look white.
And let me tell you one thing: if Trump, let me tell you, Trump always talking about building this wall to Mexico. I hope he don't build it too fast, because I like going to Mexico. I was just in Cabo. They are doing so much building there. I saw more Americans in Cabo than Mexicans. So I'm wondering right now why Mexicans are even coming over here with all of the stuff that's going on in their area.
They're already building the wall.
They're building up but the stuff that they're building there, everybody's buying a house and buying something in Mexico now. It's like, I'm telling you, I was over there and I saw more. And I'm not exaggerating. More American and white Americans over there than Mexicans.
I was watching the news live about a week and a half ago, and they were showing that he was interviewing the contractor that was building the wall, and they showed the wall. It's really, really high. But as they were talking about it, behind them, 3 Mexicans came over the fence. Not over the fence, over the wall. Over the wall. The wall that the contractor was just bragging about that nobody can get through. And 3 Mexicans came right over.
Let me tell you something. The wall that Donald Trump's talking about, he's going to build it so magnificent, 30 feet tall. The only thing that's going to do is make the price of the ladders that are 30-foot ladders go up.
And shovels.
It's in shovels.
Well, I was going to say,
it doesn't make sense.
They building tunnels, yo. That's what I'm saying. Like, they building tunnels you can drive through. Like El Chapo.
El Chapo.
But yeah, it's we need to figure out on an international scale how to better handle this situation and work with this. And come up with some kind of solution, because the one that we have ain't working.
So let me play devil advocate with the CCRB, right? So if an incident happened and a resident makes the complaint, and the CCRB says that the police are at fault or whatever, then they make the suggestion to who? The police department?
Yeah, well, the CCRB is going to be made up of a board of 9. One person is going to be actually the facilitator, has that, the main piece. But there'll be 9 people. They'll look at the case. They'll review the case. They'll be able to speak to the police officer. If the police officer don't come in, they'll be able to subpoena the police officer. We're putting repercussions behind that as well if the guy doesn't show up.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know too.
But well, if you don't show up, you start to lose your vacation days and other days for each day you don't show up. So where you're going to get penalized. There's something is going to have to happen. You're not just gonna say we're gonna ignore it. You start to take away those accrued days from those folks.
Also, what's key about the CCRB, even if the commissioner, right, or the acting commissioner in Mount Vernon, in the case of Mount Vernon, does not take the suggestions of the CCRB.
That's what I'm asking.
The CCRB will forward their findings over to the Department of Justice under the police brutality law, right? And then after a couple of complaints, what happens is that you build what they call a pattern in practice of violations and civil rights violations.
Yep.
Which then the CCRB, all the city council is empowered to request intervention from the Department of Justice, that they can come in and actually investigate the police department. So that's one of the key things with the CCRB in this case in Mount Vernon is that you will build a paper trail. You'll build a paper trail, and you will forward these incidences to the Department of Justice under the pattern and practice law. And then after enough, they will come in after a certain amount of complaints that would be sent to the DOJ. So you're bypassing the bullshit of the AG's office, not calling the AG's office bullshit, but all the district attorney's office. You're going to deal directly. The CCRB in these issues will deal directly with the Department of Justice.
And just to say one thing too, this CCRB. I just got to give credit to folks like Jeff Monroe and especially Councilman Edwards, who actually did a lot of work to champion this to make sure it went right. When Damon didn't show up to no more meetings, they were there to carry the torch. I didn't show up to the meetings.
Look, I went to a couple, but I work at night, man.
Yeah,
these 10 o'clock. These 10, 11 o'clock meetings,
But the phone calls were there.
So I've always stayed in touch. I always stayed in touch. It wasn't a problem.
David was giving them the paperwork for 3 years before they.
Thank you.
I mean, like he kept saying, how many more times I gotta.
We've been working on it for a long time, but we got it's right now. Even Councilwoman Copeland had chimed in to get us some information from New York City that helped to put this thing together. So this is a good team effort. So everybody's working together on the same accord. What do you mean, wow? Well, that's the way it should be. But we're all working on the same accord to get this thing done and pass this before the end of the year, because Councilman Edwards worked so hard on this, and this definitely should be passed, and he should be able to vote on it before this.
It has to go out before council. I mean, it's only right.
Yeah. Now, Clyde D. Hodges Jr. is asking, how is the CCRB board made up? How is how do they pick the people for the board?
Well, there'll be civilians that's picked from
each district.
Yeah, each district and stuff like that.
It's broke down to the if I remember correctly, we broke it down to the point that there are, I think, 5 or 6 police sectors, right? So and each sector will have, I believe, either 1 or 2 representatives in each sector. There will be a CCRB member. That member has to live in that sector. Right,
okay.
We're not going to do any. We're not playing any type of games. We want that person,
like district leaders.
Right, yeah. We're not playing the games like the Democratic Party with district leaders that don't live in the actual district. These people must live in the sector, in that sector. So each is just the way the police department is broken down in the different sectors. You will have you will have a CCRB member from those same sectors.
And I think more piggybacking off what you're saying. Who is doing the pick? Who's picking the people?
The city council.
The city. Okay, that's. Yeah. I think that's what
the city
is.
The city council will vote on the people to be on the board.
And like I say, whenever we do these boards, I like to vote on people that I never met in my life. I don't want nobody to say I picked this favorite or that favorite or somebody that got a position. We look strictly at resumes and paperwork, and then we interview and make sure these people are right, and then we.
So I gotta pretend like I don't know you.
I wouldn't vote. I'd have to recuse myself of this vote.
So what anything we haven't asked that you wanted to bring up that you've been going on? I mean,
I see something. Brenda Crump is asking about the process and the procedures for the hire the police commissioner.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah,
the police commissioner, the money has always been there. Now we put the money in the budget, so it's in there.
So explain that. Explain that one thing, because the mayor has been saying all year long, the council unfunded the position of police commissioner and 12 positions, police officers playing politics with the people's safety, and he also said, either my interview with him or at that press conference after the one y'all had, that when we do get a qualified candidate, once they see 0 in the budget, they're not going to take the job.
That's not true.
I was like, who looks at the budget when you have a job?
That's not true.
But
they haven't even talked salary.
And I do know that
there wasn't even salary.
And
talk.
I do know in the meeting with the clergy, there was an agreement to go up in salary, and everybody agreed on that.
Right
price.
Now. Basically, he could have hired somebody anytime. They're down, I believe, to the last few people, candidates and stuff. A lot of people won't take the job, and some of those others who want to take the job have conditions on taking the job. And the other folks that was going to take the job that found out about the conditions now don't want to take the job. And I know I'm talking about it. Man, I'm going to just straight out. Some folks don't want to take it. As long as Joe Spezio's in that thing, they are not going to come. All right? So that clears that. Now, next. The money has always been there. So now the money is in the budget. We are not short.
Well, that means you're never going to have a police.
So it's a line item now.
It's a line item, so this way he doesn't even have an excuse because the money's right there. Okay, second, he was in the new budget. He said he wanted 5 cops. We gave him 7 cops. To make sure that it's at full compliance. So there is no loss of police officers in the city. It is at 212. Can't get any higher than that. It's at 212. So the only time we're going to have a shortage in police officers
is that the max number we
yes.
have? Oh, okay.
So,
I didn't know there was a max number. Okay.
So The only time we're gonna have a shortage is if somebody go out sick or something like that, sick leave
or everybody with seniority decide to leave their job, decide to retire.
And then it's up to the mayor to when we get new recruits or whatever to plug them back into space, because they, people leave and go to other towns and municipalities and other cities and towns and So
are y'all gonna change that? That they gotta work. That they gotta work a certain amount of years first before they can do that.
Yeah, but they can't wait to leave. They come here to train, and then they make more money elsewhere.
What is?
So
what
we
is
have to raise the we have to raise the salary of the police officers.
But what is the number? What is the total number of active police officers?
I think we're at 212.
Okay.
That's a lot of police officers
for 4 miles.
4 square miles. That's a lot of police officers.
I really think that the next police commissioner that comes in needs to really look at how these schedules are structured, the squads, the number of officers on squads, and because it's no way you could have 6 sectors, right, with 200 something police officers. Now, either some of the police officers are working as civilians, because
it's clearly mismanagement,
right? Because if you have 6 sectors, right? If you have 6 sectors, and you do 2 officer a sector, right? And you have 3, all right, and then 2 times 3 is 66, right? That's 3 squads, right? And then 66 times 3, because you're gonna have 3 shifts. You're still gonna have people left over, and even if you bring the officers up, and I did the numbers before, and it doesn't. You're left with around 50 or 60 cops that's uncountable. Even if you put 20, or you put 5 or 10 in ESU, or and however they do that.
We have enough police.
I can't see a city with 4x4 square miles with over 220 officers.
We got almost as many cops as White Plains, and look how big they are.
Yo, Brenda asked another question, and I kind of want another answer to that too, about the what is the status? Of the what's going on with the Mount Vernon Ethics
Board of Ethics?
The
Board where the hell they been?
Board of Ethics.
Do we have one?
They've been meeting. Yes, we do.
I got to complain. I haven't heard anything about it.
Then you got to take your time. Take time. They'll get back to you, I guess. But the Board of Ethics is doing a tremendous job. They're investigating a whole lot of things. They're going through a whole lot of things.
Who are the members of the Board of Ethics now?
I don't have all the names. I don't have all the names.
It's a secret.
I don't have all the names available right now.
All right, Brenda, find out when they meet.
You're like the Illuminati.
Brenda, find out when they meet and post it so we know when they meet. And we all gonna crash the next Board of Ethics meeting.
Yeah, well, they do meet, and they're doing a good job. I know a lot of people haven't heard from them yet, but they're doing a lot of investigation, and they're gonna come up with a lot of findings on a lot of things.
But
so I feel comfortable.
They need to
with
call
that.
me. I got a lot of stacks and stacks.
David, Max said if you get some of them damn streetlights fixed, you might not need so many cops.
Well, let me say this.
Wait. I want to say and shout to Andre Wallace. People don't understand, and I've done this. Beauvais, anybody when you call somebody, and they make it happen. There was a light out on our block, and it's like where it was. If the whole area was pitch black, ladies was coming home scared to get out their car at night, and all this and all that. Basically, I called Andre over the weekend. I called him back during the week. He had me take a picture of tell him what houses it was in between. I actually took a picture and sent it to him, and he said it should be taken care of. And I was sitting on the porch late that night, and I was like, somebody was like, "Oh, the lights are on." I didn't even realize it was just like the light happened. It was taken care of when he said it was. Because so I just want to give credit. I credit Beauvais when he took care of some stuff like that. When you call people and they actually make it happen, you know what I'm saying? Like real time. I got to give them their props, and he did that.
When people call me, I come out. I come out, a lot of times, and I went to your street to see how dark it is, because that amps up the level of how I'm going to complain about it. So I get it, the urgency, and that was a serious problem, man.
Pitch
The
black,
whole block was dark.
Right, it was pitch black,
And let me tell you something, crime is going down, and I'm telling you, since Sue's has closed down, crime has been falling, and all of the rest.
All right, listen. Wait. Since you're talking about Sue's, I heard Sue's opened up, man.
No, Sue's did not open up.
You sure?
I heard they having a grand opening.
I was looking at I was looking at
grand opening,
Instagram. There was a big fly. Sue's coming. Boom. Sue's coming. Everybody on the street was saying Sue's is coming.
It's coming?
Well, that's what they were saying.
People say a lot of things. But crime is down, and we need to keep crime down, and that gentleman is absolutely right. We need to fix a lot of the street lights. I believe that the mayor is now going into agreement with Phillips New York lighting authorities. One of these things. To get us lights, we went through a whole bunch of stuff. We should have had lights already, because you had already hired Terrence Horton, so we gave him some free money to just walk away with
and pay for lawyers to fight him.
And the bad thing about it is the mayor sued him, and the mayor was the one I'd never forget, because I don't make this stuff up. I always got facts. Okay, I had a discussion with the mayor when he was a councilman, and saying that I don't know if that deal is the right deal for our city, because we shouldn't be paying out the money. And I had another thing, which was Phillips trying to get the lighting done for free, and he said that it was a great deal. It's the best thing since sliced bread and the whole shebang, and it's an awesome deal. And then when he became mayor, he sued the man and then tried to stop the deal. So I thought it was a great deal.
I got his I got his voting record.
That didn't work out well for us.
So somebody wanted to ask, so Oscar Davis says, so crime is down, so we should get a mayor credit, right? That's what Oscar said.
Well, Oscar, the mayor is the head and the leader of the city, so if that's the case, let's give him credit. We'll give him credit, and I'm fine with that. I don't care who gets the credit, long as the job get done. That's it.
Tell him, DK, good leadership and common sense makes things work together much better. We're coming to the end of the show. Everybody give me their last words. Lorraine, starting with
Let's
Lorraine.
get Lorraine, because she
It was an interesting show today. Yeah. But real talk, though, I just want to say I want to thank you guys for supporting me and for having my back. You and the audience as well. You know what I'm talking about.
No doubt. We stand by our people. No doubt.
Oh, my next thing is, just come out, support that CCRB. Make sure that come out, gets through.
Okay.
Let's work on this other stuff with legislation to
I'm just
help
trying to
all our
and
immigrants from hiding and stuff.
I'm not
like
trying
that
to be a pain.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm just sitting here because I'm saying there's 6 sectors, right? I'm just saying there's 6 sectors.
He over here with a pad and a notebook, right? Doing math and everything.
You have 2 officers a sector, right? Right, you have 2 officers a sector.
I told you it's just bad
12,
management, man.
Right, that's
the police
12.
station
Listen,
is not run
that's
right.
12. That's 12 officers in each section. A shift, 3 shifts. If you bring it down to 3 shifts, that's 36 officers. Now, if you add 10 ESU people from emergency service in each shift, that's 30. So now you got 90. So now you got so you had 36. So you had 66, right? You had 66 officers. So let's add another 66 officers. Let's add another 40. Put them up in the detective. I don't know how many are. I'm just saying. Just take 40, right? Right. So you had
because they heard the homicide division wasn't that strong. So.
Right. You put 40 officers. You had 106 officers, right? Right. You had 106, but you got 220. All right. So it's 106, 212. So now you had 106. So you got like 100 officers left that have to be accounted for. Then you maybe think about 30.
Those are the cops that sit around and watch Con Ed and stuff like that.
No. But see, all that's overtime, but all that's paid for.
I know.
Con Ed pays the overtime.
I know.
Which is a whole nother.
I know.
Look, it has to be some type of mathematical way that a 4x4 square miles, you don't need 300 officers for that. It's no fucking way.
What, 212 you mean?
Oh, damn.
We don't have 300.
No, what I'm saying is if people are saying we need to hire more.
We have more than enough, man, at 212. You need, what I keep saying, you need to get upper management straightened out. Because we have great police officers, but if you ain't got no leadership, you know, you got to fix it at the leadership, you know, at the top, at the leaders level. You know, and then get it right. Because we have no plan. I keep telling people we on the no plan.
No
plan. You know, and that's the plan we want to keep on executing. We ain't going to go nowhere.
You trying to figure out where all the other cops, Oscar said they might be out sick.
I mean, you just got to have listen, man.
No, we have plenty. We have more than enough police.
Because see, I don't want to see the city go bankrupt. Because the city listen, I'll be honest, I'm selfish, bro. If the city goes bankrupt, then I'm leaving, but then my wife don't get her goddamn pension. See, I'm worried. I'm being selfish right now. So my concern is basically for my financial well-being to make sure that my wife gets her goddamn pension.
Well, I'm gonna make a promise. I'm promised that we're gonna fight hard to make sure that don't happen.
Right.
So I'll be on the front line.
If she don't get her pension, I'm gonna have to go into the black box.
Am I gonna get another death threat? So I'm gonna make sure I work.
Andre Wallace, I told you, don't do it.
I gotta
wrap it up in last words. Go ahead.
Well, you know, I'm glad to be here. You know, I know we were supposed to talk about homeless. I guess didn't come so we could discuss that issue. But homelessness is real, and we got to really work on that. You know, and just because people are homeless doesn't mean that they're bad people. Some people just caught up in bad circumstances at the moment that cause these kind of problems.
Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of people that are, you know, in good, you know,
and we got a lot of working homeless, and
working homeless.
Well, that's something that is an issue we need to. On a county level also, because under Astorino, he basically just turned a shut eye on the growing number of homeless people in Westchester County. So I hope George Lattimore and the Democrats, you know, really tackle this issue, because it's a story that really needs to be addressed.
Yep, because I'm just saying in Atlanta, we should be having plenty enough to feed everybody. So I don't understand it, you know.
Because they still too busy putting it in their pockets.
Yeah, we got to do something about it. It's
real. The white dude from Yonkers, he said, you know, you expect politicians to take a little something, but it's supposed to be a 20-80 rule. You know, you take a little 20 and then you get 80% to the people. You know what I'm saying? You expect them to they get a little, you know, expect them to get a little something. You know what I'm saying? Because it's crooked and it's the way it is. But you know, when they start taking 80 and giving 20% to the people, or taking 100%. Then we got problems.
See, the problem is you ain't supposed to go into politics for money. You go into politics to serve, do what you got to do for your community, give back for a country and a community that did so much for you.
It's not about reality. It's all about a salary.
To all your people listening, if you see a rich politician, you see a crook.
That's not necessarily.
Well,
some people
wait.
Coming with their money already.
But if you see, that saying was back in the day. But if you do see a politician, you know, like you watch some of these politicians, right? They when they first get into office, not like Andre. Andre's coming to office wearing red bottoms and shit. So we're not talking about Andre. We're really not talking about. Listen, right? He got 8 pairs of goddamn red bottoms.
Blood shoes. Yeah.
You know, so we're not talking. We're not talking about Andre. We're just talking about the regular politician. They get in, they got the little dingy blue suit. And then all of a sudden, they move up the ladder.
Buy him a house.
They get a couple of houses and shit. They buy a house. Like, how the fuck he buy a house? He just been off for two goddamn years and he buy a house. Then he move up. The next you know, he's buying a home in Florida. You know, then he move up. Then the suit's starting to get a little jazzier, a little better. And then next thing you know, it's 30 years down the line, and he got like eight houses, and he only make $80,000 a year. You know what the hell is going? What the hell is going on?
Not true at all. I don't know what he's disagreeing about, but Oscar said not true at all. I don't know what he's disagreeing about.
Oh, no, what's not true? If you see a rich politician, you see a crook, it's true. They just ain't got caught.
Wait, Oscar's a politician.
Oscar's
the head of the. He's a trustee.
That's not a politician. That's an elected official.
Is that being over the library as a politician?
It's an
He's a public servant,
but not a politician.
Yeah, but that's not.
He's an elected official. He's not a politician.
But he's not the
He
type.
makes policy.
But I'm not talking about.
Hold on.
Listen,
I know we gotta get off.
Are they giving him under?
Hold on.
Listen, are they giving him money under the table for extra Harry Potter books? No, absolutely not.
That's why his stationery says the honorary.
Y'all don't realize this, but many people need to go look this up. The key to a successful community is its library.
No, I'm not down. I'm not down that.
He's been working.
I'm not down that.
I will give him credit. I will give him
library.
credit now that he's listening because I gave him credit when he was.
I give him credit
too. The library has turned around a lot, and he's done a lot under the library.
I give him credit too.
Give him
I
credit.
think the man lived
but
there.
I'm not putting him in that category.
Well,
politician.
Well, he drives a Beamer and all of that.
Well, he was
stuff.
driving a Beamer years ago. Ain't nothing.
Well, where'd he get that money from?
Working.
Well, they was complaining. They was saying he's working too many goddamn jobs.
We got too many contracts in the city.
It just might be that extra Harry Potter book.
I love you, Oscar, man. I love you, man.
No doubt.
You know I love you, bro. Hey, he's gonna call me in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. So that's he laughed.
And I hope he don't charge me for the late charge for my books.
LMBO, he just laughed. Yeah. No doubt. Yo, we coming to the close of the show. Thank everybody for tuning in, everybody for chiming in, all the people that have been showing their love and support of the radio show and the website and the paper. You know what I'm saying? Shutting down the haters. You know what I'm saying? We definitely appreciate all of you. All the advertisers, we appreciate all of y'all. All that have been holding us down, we appreciate all of y'all. We couldn't do this without you. So with that said, you could be doing anything else right now, but you decided to ride with us, and we greatly appreciate it. This is Black Westchester Presents the People Before Politics radio show every Sunday, 6 to 8 on InTheMixRadio.com. Until next week, peace.
22 million black victims of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. Any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it. 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 And are not afraid to say it.